Were you familiar with this, the Watcher before you, The Witcher?
The Witcher,
before
yeah.
you started?
I hadn't seen the TV show, and I hadn't read the book.
Promote this thing until a month before it came out. You knew they knew that switching from like Henry Cavill to Liam Hemsworth, as downhill as the franchise has gone, everybody knew that even they knew it'd be shit. Were we expecting this? Witcher Season 4 is sitting at 17% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes right now. And I mean, look, the critics are pretty so-so on it as well. Some critics have been lambasting it, but overwhelmingly the fan base who has had an opportunity to watch it has wholeheartedly rejected this thing.
When Netflix officially announced that The Witcher had been canceled, the entertainment world didn't just react. It detonated. What was supposed to be a confident new chapter for the franchise had instead collapsed into a cautionary tale that studios will be studying for years. Headlines erupted across social media, fan forums blew up in seconds, and reaction channels flooded YouTube with breakdowns, criticisms, and long-awaited I told you so commentary. But the most unexpected part of all was the emotional fallout behind the scenes. According to multiple insiders, Liam Hemsworth was left in tears after learning the show was done. And after everything that happened, no one was surprised. The show never stood a chance without Henry Cavill. And Season 4 only proved what fans had been shouting from the rooftops. You can't replace the soul of a series and expect the audience to blindly follow.
I'm the most annoying guy on set because I'm saying, excuse me, you do realize that this should be happening and they wouldn't do that, and you haven't read this, that means this would be impossible. And everyone's just going, Henry, just shut up and do the thing. And I'm like, I don't want to do the thing because he wouldn't do it this way, and he can do this.
Back
They
in
should have just canceled it.
It was and there were more than a few outlets and fans.
I don't know why Netflix would have even continued with it, because like it's only going to damage their brand and make them look bad. Like, you probably should be paying money to not have it shown.
Saying that's possible, actually releasing the show. And let's just
I don't know why they released it. They should have just canceled it. That's fine. But what I'm saying is that a lot of people obviously don't like this type of content.
Netflix's Q2 report came out, and apparently they lost 1 million subscribers in the second quarter of this year, which we already saw that at the beginning of the year, they lost 200,000. The next month, they lost another couple 100,000, and they had projected that they were going to lose a couple million over the next few months.
Rumors about cancellations had been circulating for months, but most viewers assumed Netflix would push ahead if only to save face. After all, this was a billion-dollar franchise, one of the streaming giants' crown jewels, a series they marketed as their answer to Game of Thrones. Yet the downfall was so complete, so immediate, and so fierce that even Netflix couldn't pretend everything was fine. Viewership numbers plummeted almost instantly. Fan sentiment was the worst in the platform's history for a major fantasy release, and critics, who often give struggling shows some leeway, showed no mercy whatsoever. It wasn't just a flop. It wasn't just underwhelming. Season 4 became a symbol of what happens when a studio underestimates its audience, mishandles beloved material, and ignores the very actor who tried to protect the story.
My job? Kill monsters. Get coin. Use coin on McDonald's app. Get points. Use points to get free McChicken. Only 1,500 points. Every dollar spent is 100 points. Constant BOGOs. I always leave with a free McChicken. It's like I'm stealing from them.
Stealing? You're a thief. Lemon Witcher was supposed to be 7 seasons, but it was abruptly cut down to 5 after Henry Cavill left, and Lauren Hissrich is lucky she got that. But she does say, are there more stories? Maybe. Well, actually, there's a lot because you skipped them. But this one has to end at this point. So I think it's a nice time for all of us to step back a little bit. And that probably has a lot to do with the audience stepping back a long time ago.
What's this? Oh, I saw this. Henry Cavill says he's not a fan of sex scenes in film and television and believes that they're mostly a bit of a cop-out. Fucking true. Absolutely true.
It's when you have a sense that you're going, is this really necessary? Or is it people just with less clothing on?
Right.
And that's where you start to get more uncomfortable and you're thinking, there's not a performance here. TV show or a movie is just filled with sort of gyrating bodies and you're going, okay,
right.
But I mean, what is this doing for us, apart from the idea of like, oh, naked person, great.
Yeah.
Liam Hemsworth entered the role of Geralt under circumstances that would have broken almost any actors. Fans weren't cautiously optimistic, they were furious. From the moment Henry Cavill announced he was leaving, the fandom broke apart. For many viewers, Cavill wasn't just playing Geralt, he was Geralt. His deep respect for the books, his insistence on accuracy, and his understanding of the character made him irreplaceable. He didn't read the scripts like tasks, he studied them like a scholar protecting a legacy. And when the writers deviated from that legacy, he challenged them. His passion was the backbone of the series. So when Netflix moved forward without him, fans saw it as a betrayal. Not by Henry, but by the people running the show.
I can make whatever I want. I've got him on a farm milking people. I'm gonna send him to the ladies with the red bonnets on. Because everyone can have their version. Everyone shouldn't. Everyone doesn't matter enough to have their version. What matters is the millions upon millions of people which have bought the games, and they deserve to be represented. Lauren doesn't. Lauren's irrelevant. I'm not sure why Lauren's the showrunner. She already scared off the best asset that the series has. Getting rid of Henry Cavill and keeping Lauren would be like losing a Wagyu steak and having it replaced with a carrot.
Now I have to.
I think that's just so unfair to the guy. Are we really gonna blame everything and scapegoat this guy? Well, think about it. If the show was so great, why did the first guy leave? It's so unfair.
Millions of people are canceling their Netflix subscriptions. Why Netflix stock is absolutely tanking right now. I mean, it is just collapsing totally in the red. And you can see that it is on a massive downward slope this month. It's cratering.
And I guess bringing in a new White Wolf at this point in the season, a bold move and a tall order for Liam.
And of course, he wanted to honor the character that had already been set up because he knows that he's stepping into a role. But at the same time, he wanted to make sure that his performance was authentic, that it felt like him, that he wasn't playing and mimicking anything. And so
promote this thing until a month before it came out. You knew they knew that switching from like Henry Cavill to Liam Hemsworth, as downhill as the franchise has gone, everybody knew that even they knew it'd be shit. Were we expecting this? Witcher Season 4 is sitting at 17% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
To agree with the responsibility of that lays at the feet of one woman, the aforementioned Lauren Schmidt-Hissrich, who has finally gotten everything she wanted, complete control of an epic fantasy series on Netflix without the shackles of Henry Cavill. And how did it turn out? Well, about as bad as you would expect. It's time to talk about...
Liam stepped into that firestorm with no shield. Even before the first promotional poster dropped, backlash was intense. Memes mocked the recast. Discussions questioned the creative decisions. And when the first leaked image of Liam as Geralt surfaced, fan confidence only worsened. The comparison was brutal, and fans weren't subtle about their disappointment. From day one, Liam wasn't being judged on his acting ability. He was being compared to a performance that had already become iconic, and no matter what he did, that comparison haunted him across every platform. Insiders revealed that Liam tried to stay optimistic. He asked questions, took the role seriously, trained physically, studied the show, and attempted to find a version of Geralt that would feel authentic. But the scripts he was given didn't help. The writing team, the same team Henry clashed with for years, pushed the story even further from the books. They doubled down on their own interpretations, added plot lines that felt disconnected, and continued sidelining the rich lore that made the original novels so beloved. By the time cameras started rolling,
and it was not even a
season
year ago
4
where
already
Henry very
felt like an
publicly said that he
imitation
is
of
committed to
itself.
doing the planned 7 seasons of the Netflix Witcher on one condition. That condition being that the writers can manage to tell great stories while honoring the source material this show is apparently meant to be based on. Now,
okay, well that actually does fucking indicate something, doesn't it? Let's read this again. Absolutely, he says, and this is a quote, "As long as we can keep telling great stories which honor Sapkowski's work." So guess, I wonder what the odds are that a Netflix series isn't going to honor the original content of which the series is built off.
Witcher, Witcher, Witcher! There's fish people drowning our sheep in the river!
Sounds like drowners. Gonna need spicy mayo.
Okay.
Oil my blade. Witcher magic for every occasion. Killing monsters is what I do.
Okay, can you hurry?
Witcher!
A vampire ate my mom!
A Dracula needs garlic butter.
When the trailers dropped, Liam's concerns turned into panic. The dislike bar spiked instantly. Comments roasted the visuals, the tone, the recast, and the writing. Fans said the world looked cheaper, the energy felt off, and the soul of the story was gone. Many didn't even make it halfway through the trailer without clicking away. Analysts watching the reaction unfold described it as one of the most hostile responses to a major fantasy trailer ever recorded. It was obvious the audience wasn't interested, not in the new Geralt, not in the new direction, not in the new season. Liam, according to those close to production, took it personally. He confided to staff members that he felt responsible for the backlash, even though the recast decision wasn't his to make. He reportedly asked whether there was anything he could do differently, anything he could change, anything he could adjust to win back fan trust. The premiere of season 4 confirmed the worst fears. Viewership collapsed out of the gate. Most viewers who clicked episode 1 didn't finish it. Critics described the show as unrecognizable, empty, and lacking direction. Reaction channels uploaded videos titled "What Happened to This Show? Where's the Heart?" and "They should have canceled this sooner." Some reviewers even admitted they couldn't get through the first 20 minutes. It was a disaster of historic proportions. Liam's emotional breaking point came during the first major internal meeting after release. Netflix executives presented analytics showing the steep decline in viewer retention, the crushing wave of negative feedback, and the near total rejection of season 4 by longtime fans. One insider described Liam staring down at the table, speechless, visibly shaken by the numbers. When the cancellation discussion began, he reportedly asked if there was a way to salvage the franchise. Perhaps through rewrites, pacing adjustments, or even re-editing the season. But the executives were blunt. The problem wasn't pacing or editing, it was identity. The Witcher didn't feel like The Witcher anymore. Shortly afterward, Netflix made the decision behind closed doors to cancel the series entirely. The official announcement would come weeks later, carefully packaged in corporate language to soften the blow. But the damage was irreparable. And when Liam learned that the show he had hoped would redefine his career had instead been buried after only one season with him, he reportedly broke down. Sources say he excused himself from the meeting, needing time to process the news. Fans weren't celebrating the cancellation because they hated Liam. They were celebrating because the franchise had needed mercy. Fans saw the series suffering and they wanted it to stop before it damaged the legacy even further. Their sympathy for Liam grew when reports surfaced about his emotional reaction. But that sympathy didn't change the truth. The show never recovered after Henry Cavill's departure. Meanwhile, Henry Cavill's reputation reached new heights. Fans praised him as a protector of lore, a champion of faithful adaptation, and an actor with rare devotion to source material. Old interviews resurfaced where Henry politely corrected writers, referenced specific chapters of the novels, and defended Geralt's philosophy. The clips went viral all over again, highlighting the painful gap between Season 1's integrity and Season 4's confusion. Online, fans rallied behind Henry, not out of nostalgia, but out of respect. They recognized him as a performer who understood the responsibility of playing a beloved character. They saw his departure not as abandonment, but as resistance. A refusal to be part of a story that no longer respected the world it came from. The cancellation validated every warning he had tried to give. It proved that passion matters, accuracy matters, and audiences notice when something loses its soul. Netflix attempted damage control, claiming shifting market trends and viewing habits caused the decline. Fans immediately fired back, pointing to other thriving fantasy franchises and calling Netflix's explanation a weak attempt to dodge responsibility. The Witcher didn't fail because of trends. It failed because the story was mishandled and the audience felt betrayed. Fan petitions then took a surprising turn. Thousands demanded a full reboot years down the road, but only if Henry Cavill returned. Viewers wanted the universe restored by the person who understood it best. They didn't want a new actor. They didn't want a soft relaunch. They wanted Henry Cavill's version rebuilt, respected, and allowed to finish the saga properly. The cancellation may have ended The Witcher as a show, but it ignited something far more powerful, a cultural understanding that Cavill wasn't just cast into the role, he earned it, protected it, and honored it. And now, with the show gone, only one truth remains. The Witcher survived when Henry Cavill was Geralt. The moment he stepped away, the story collapsed. Liam Hemsworth's tears will be remembered not as weakness, but as proof of the impossible weight he was forced to carry. He tried to step into a role that belonged to someone else. He tried to make the fans proud. He tried to do the impossible, but the burden wasn't his to bear. The real issue was a studio that ignored its audience and underestimated the importance of authenticity. And in the end, the fans said what the numbers already proved. Henry Cavill didn't walk away from The Witcher. The Witcher walked away from him.